Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to your Lunch Break Live. My name is Ivana Harinkyu if you're new here, and if you're not, thank you for coming back, and thank you for joining us on this first work day, I guess I should say, of the new year. Today is Monday, January the 3rd, 2022. I've already said 2021 once this morning, so it's one of these days I will roll into 2022. But today we've got a very fun interview to kind of re-enter us into this year, into work. And today I'm joined by a familiar face. You might recognize her. This is Lauren Bradford. She is Miss Alabama 2021, and she is also the new first runner-up of Miss America. Now, you might recognize, again, Lauren from being Miss Alabama, but also if you tuned in to the Miss America competition earlier in December, then you know, again, that she placed as first runner-up. That was December the 16th. And a couple weeks ago, but Lauren and I were saying that's kind of when everybody entered that holiday season, right? So today we're going to catch up with Lauren, talk a little bit about her platform, what she is really passionate about doing, and about just her experience at Miss America. So again, that was a long intro for you, Lauren, but you've got a lot here to talk about. So thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited. And like you said, awakening from the slumber is really nice to get back to reality and back on the job. So thank you for having me.
Well, Lauren, let's give a quick intro about you for people who maybe are not so familiar. So I know you were an Auburn grad. You're planning this fall to study a master's in finance at Vanderbilt. So you'll be headed to Nashville here in the fall, in August, I believe. And also you have really developed this platform. This was while you were Miss Alabama, before you even headed to Connecticut for Miss America. And this is your UNPLUG Digital Diet Plan. So I want to talk a little bit about you and your background and that digital diet plan. And then we'll talk about Miss America and a couple things that happened there that I know that you probably don't want to revisit, but we're going to. So first, tell me a little bit about you. I know you're from Gulf Shores, and about this digital diet plan.
Yeah, well, like you said, I'm from the beach, so I'm actually here at home with my family now celebrating the holidays and about to go to Birmingham tomorrow to get back to work. But I have just grown up completely as a tomboy. A lot of people don't know that, but I grew up skateboarding and being outside. I love the outdoors. And I found out about the Miss Alabama's Outstanding Teen program and found out that there was a talent piece to it and that there are also scholarships involved. So I got involved with the teen program, and the rest is kind of history. And so this program has shaped so much of who I am as a person. And I love to tell everyone about the Miss Alabama program that it's really a professional development tool. And I've gained skills from this program that I know I can transition into my future career, and that's finance. And so I fell in love with the finance as a girl. I actually grew up wanting to be a doctor, but as I was growing up, I got stocks and bonds for Christmas and birthdays from my dad. That is like what I got for Christmas and birthdays. And so I've always kind of known about the stock market and markets in general. So I'm really excited to be entering the field of finance and to help people achieve their personal and professional financial goals. And Unplug the Digital Diet Plan, it's really about the overuse of technology and the harmful impacts of the overuse of technology and how we can find a healthy and balanced way to use this tool that's always going to be around. And so primarily what I do is I speak to people of all ages and teach them of the harmful impacts, because oftentimes we don't know how it's affecting our lives. And the average time that we spend on tech every single day is over 12 hours. And so that adds up to a decade of our lives just spent on phones, not to mention other devices. So I try to teach about that. And I've worked this year as Miss Alabama with the Alabama State Department of Education to create technology curriculum that's made available to all public schools in the state of Alabama through the Alabama Learning Exchange. So that's been really cool to see that project come to life, as well as several other projects that I've gotten to do nationally. So that is a huge passion of mine. And I think it's so important just to focus on human connection. I think that oftentimes that's lost in our culture. And I think it's really important to get back to what it means to be present with someone in the moment and look at someone in the eyes and see them as a real human being and not have a screen in the middle of you impeding that connection. So that's part of what I want to do as Miss Alabama and also throughout the rest of my life. So it's been such a joy to get to spread that message on the National Miss America stage and throughout the past 5 years.
Well, and you know, it's interesting because so many people look at the history of Miss America and other competitions similar, and they think that sometimes the people who are on that stage are beautiful and they are very good at what they are doing. But sometimes that they forget that, again, you are young women who have a passion, who have a career plan. And this is a career plan that people might not expect somebody who is rising through the ranks, again, first runner up at Miss America, who wants to be a person that is big in the finance world and again is working towards that kind of bettering technology. That's something we've heard about for the last year or so, even in our national headlines about Instagram and Facebook and our young people. And that's something that I think a lot of people, it kind of gets lost, right, in the Miss America and in that competition track.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool that the Miss America organization, one of the huge proponents of it is called the Social Impact Initiative, formerly known as the Platform. And so it gives women the opportunity to find something that they're passionate about and to speak to it on a very large scale. So at Miss America, part of our competition was a pitch of our Social Impact Initiative. It was 90 seconds and it was similar to a TED Talk. And also, as Miss America and as Miss Alabama, we're constantly pitching our ideas to in ways that we hope to grow it on a statewide scale, on a national scale. So again, it's giving young women professional development tools to where I could now walk into a room of future business leaders and pitch an idea for a company. And I believe that that's a directly translatable skill. And so I love that the Miss America organization is not focused on outward appearance or on necessarily how you perform, but about your message and the words and the legacy that you want to leave rather than just the competition. And like you say, I do think it gets lost in the shuffle because most people only see the culmination of your time as a title holder on the Miss America stage. And so even though it was such a blessing and such an honor to be first runner up at Miss America and to have the scholarship awards that came with that, I now get to continue my year as Miss Alabama and work that comes along with that and working to leave an impact and leaving a legacy. And there's so much more to it. So I am a huge advocate for this program. I believe that it's really just helped me to be prepared for any kind of situation. And I'm just so thankful for the scholarship dollars that I've earned competing. So I think it's a huge asset for any young woman that wants to compete.
I've got a question on that I'm going to get back to, but first I have to ask you about some things that happened during Miss America. Now, again, this was on the last night, I believe, was on December the 16th. So if anybody who, again, had watched had maybe, that was a long time ago in our brains right now, right? But I know that you had some technical difficulties. Now, your talent that you showcased was your violin and your violin solo, and you had a few technical difficulties. We talk about tech, and it hit you right there. And again, through no fault of your own, had a little issue there. And I think you thought you were playing and playing beautifully, but the sound wasn't exactly coming out. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, actually, so I decided to play this song 50 days before Miss America. And so I only had 50 days to learn it and be ready for the Miss America stage. And so I play violin. I've been playing since I was 6 years old. And I typically play an acoustic violin, which is just the violins that you typically see. But this time I decided that I wanted to play the electric violin. And I wanted to play it because the song I was playing was Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, but it was a punk rock version of this classical song. So I felt like it translated so well to the electric violin. And I ran my sound through a loop pedal. So for those who don't know anything about it, it's these different pedals that have different effects. So one of the pedals was a distortion pedal. So it sounded like a punk electric guitar, and then reverb. And that's what I ran it through. And so on the final night of Miss America, I had never had a problem with my violin or the pedal ever before. But all of a sudden, I walked out on stage and the pedal wasn't working. Like, none of the sound was coming through. And I was supposed to be number 6. So if anyone watched the broadcast, you saw that they skipped me and I got put at the end. And so we thought we had it figured out. And I walked out and started playing, and there was no sound coming out. So I did know in the real thing, because no sound was coming out in the arena either. And I ended up knowing what was wrong halfway through the song. It was just muted. And so I slammed my foot on the unmute pedal and I continued playing. And there was a split second in my mind where I was like, do I stop and like check what's going on? And then I was like, no, I just have to keep going. And so it was a crazy moment. And it was really fun being there because the crowd got really into it and they were all so supportive. I think they felt bad. So they really got to cheer on, and it was kind of an electric audience, but it was crazy getting to do it again. I didn't think that I was going to get the opportunity to play it again. So I was thankful that the production crew allowed me that opportunity to play the full thing with the sound running through it. But I love that song. That is one of my favorite songs that I've ever had the opportunity to play. And I view that song as my miracle because I didn't even have a teacher. I was in a new city in Birmingham as Miss Alabama. I'm from the beach and I went to school at Auburn. So I did not have a teacher. I didn't have any frame of reference of how to even begin this song. And I believe I got on my hands and knees, honestly, and I prayed for a miracle, and the Lord really answered those prayers. And so It was such an incredible time getting to perform something that I had worked so hard on the Miss America stage, even in the midst of that craziness. It was an incredible moment. Finally getting to finish it with the sound working.
Well, and I'm not laughing that that had happened because I know I mean not I can't play the violin, but I know, and I've obviously never been to Miss America, right? But I know the feeling of being in front of a live audience and something technically that's out of your control not working, and you sit here and you have a moment of panic where
Yeah,
you think, what should I do? Should I pretend I know what I'm doing and just keep going,
yeah,
or do I stop the show and figure it out? I mean, I've been there, and it's kind of poetic in a way, right? That our entire last 2 years have been problems with people taking themselves off mute or not muting themselves or just being like a 2 years of muting problems.
yeah.
So it's just ironic that that ended up being the actual problem that you faced.
It was on brand for 2021 for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, hopefully that, I hope one day we won't even remember what that word means, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there was a question I wanted to ask you before we got into that. And that was that you and I had the opportunity to speak before you went to Miss America. And a friend of mine who also was speaking with you had a really great question. And I want to repeat it. And he said, I have a young daughter. And why should I encourage her? If she watches Miss America or Miss Alabama or any of these competitions, why should I encourage her if she wants to do that to go out for it? Why should I say that's a good idea? What is the word that you would say to a young girl who says, you know what, maybe I want to do that?
I would bring her mind and try to wrap it around the incredible opportunity that is obtaining a college education. And so many women who have competed in this program have been able to say with true confidence that they were able to graduate debt free solely because of the Miss America organization. So at Miss America, being awarded first runner up, I was awarded $42,500 in cash scholarships. At Miss Alabama this past summer, I was awarded over $13,000. And in all of my time competing, I've been awarded over $380,000 in cash and in-kind scholarships. And so it's allowed me to obtain my degree from Auburn University debt-free, and also allowed me to pursue a master's degree at my dream school at Vanderbilt University. And so because of the scholarship dollars, I believe that I've been lifted from a burden that I know. I mean, college is so expensive. And so I think education is something that no one can ever take away from you. It's an ability to find something that you're passionate about and to work really hard towards it, and then to apply that to a future career. And so I think education is really, really important. And the scholarship dollars that are accompanying becoming Miss Alabama and becoming Miss America are incredible and invaluable. Also, Miss America was just awarded a $100,000 cash scholarship. So that's a life-changing amount of money that is directly being applied to her education. And so I think it's so important that is our message. And the message of the Miss America organization, the mission statement, is to prepare great women for the world, but also to prepare the world for great women. And it all comes back to those professional development tools and the benefits that go so far beyond just walking on stage.
Well, look, you've got another 7 months as Miss Alabama. So what do you plan to do in that time remaining of your term here?
Yeah, I hope to continue to travel the state of Alabama of all kinds of events. So if anyone wants to book a Miss Alabama, we'll talk later about where to find that information. But I love traveling the state and meeting people that I never would have otherwise met, and just speaking and sharing my talents. I also hope to work with the Miss Alabama organization to celebrate 100 years. So this is our 100th anniversary. We're celebrating that this year. So it's such an incredible time to be Miss Alabama. And we have several events that are coming up that are open to the public and open to the Miss Alabama friends and family. There's a cocktail party happening at the club on the 8th, Saturday the 8th. And so several events like that we get to celebrate this milestone and just 100 years of the legacy of the Miss Alabama and Miss America organization. So I'm so excited to celebrate that and to continue to work with the Alabama State Department of Education to spread the curriculum that we have created together across schools throughout public schools throughout the state of Alabama, and just teaching the message about finding true connection. So I'm really excited for the next 6 months. I think it's going to be a whirlwind because the first 6 months flew by. So I'm just going to soak in every single moment.
Well, and again, July 2nd, a new Miss Alabama will be crowned. After that, again, you're headed to Vanderbilt to pursue your master's there. So what's next for you? What's next after Vanderbilt?
Well, I hope to obtain a job as a strategy consultant, and I would love to travel the globe helping companies fix their problems and make a greater impact on the world around them. I am so excited about entering this field and again, going back to the Miss America organization, helping females feel equipped to enter any work field. I'm entering a field that is completely male dominated and in finance. And my dream, and I talked about this on the Miss America stage, is to one day hopefully maybe be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And so I'm really excited to learn skills throughout the field of finance and to help companies solve their problems across industries. So I would love to travel with that. And first, it's going to be getting the degree from Vanderbilt. It's only a 10-month program, and it's really a 2-year program packed into 1 year. So it's going to be a lot of getting back to the study grind after a year off of school. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited to meet my fellow candidates who are in the program and to learn and bond with them as we enter our first steps into our careers.
Well, I will not be surprised to see you on that list one day of Fortune
Thank you.
500 CEOs, Laura, not at all. So tell people where they can find more about you, where they can find more about your digital diet plan. It's a really interesting just initiative that you have created there. So tell people where they can find all of that.
Yeah, well, I have a website for Digital Diet Plan. It's digitaldietplan.weebly.com, and there's all of the information and resources there. And ultimately, the heart behind it is just about balance, never getting rid of your tools of technology, but learning how to integrate it into your lifestyle. So I have all of my tips there and my resources. So it's on that website. And there's also a Miss Alabama website. It's just missalabama.com, and you can find out more information of how to compete. We're having a couple of more preliminaries in the next coming months if you want to compete for the title of Miss Alabama. And there's also information there of how to book me. So if you want to book me for any kind of event that you have going on, you can contact the Miss Alabama office on that website. There's also the Miss Alabama Instagram at Miss America AL and a Miss Alabama Facebook page to keep up with my journey there. So thank you so much for wanting to follow along. I would love to be friends on those sites.
We will make sure to leave those sites here in our comment thread as well. We've also left some of our stories about Lauren if you want to get to know her better as well. So, Lauren, thank you today for taking some time. I know you are a busy, busy person, but taking a little time on this snow day to speak with me and kind of recap that Miss America experience.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was such an honor, and best of luck in 2022. Sending you all the love. Thank you guys so much.
And we all need it. We all need it, Lauren. So thank you so much, everybody watching. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming back after our little holiday break, and we will see you tomorrow.